My wife cheated and is now pregnant. Sarah and I had been together for nearly a decade. We met in college, young and filled with dreams. Her laughter was infectious, her kindness boundless. We fell deeply in love, and after graduation, we married and soon welcomed our son Tommy into the world. Our life together was filled with joy, love, and the shared dream of building a family. But everything changed the day Sarah tearfully confessed to me that she had been having an affair for about a year with a man from church. Shock reverberated through me as she revealed she was 6 weeks pregnant, the timing pointing to her affair as the cause. The revelation shattered the image of the woman I thought I knew so well. She admitted that the last time we had been intimate was just yesterday, and before that, nearly for months, had passed. She confessed that her recent intimacy with me was an attempt to pass off the baby as mine. She showed me their text exchanges, but some messages had been deleted. Her lover had asked her to call him, and she replied, asking for space and no further contact. She begged me for forgiveness, crying and pleading for a chance to make things right. I couldn't respond. The pain was overwhelming. Sarah had been my rock, my confidant, my love for all these years. How could she betray everything we had built together? I retreated to our bedroom, locking the door behind me, needing time to sort through the torrent of emotions raging inside me. Memories flooded my mind. Our first date, our wedding day, Tommy's first steps, all now tainted by the knowledge of her infidelity. Hours passed as I sat on the edge of the bed, grappling with the enormity of the situation. Could I forgive her? Could our marriage survive this betrayal? I didn't have answers, only questions and a deep ache in my heart. Eventually, I came out from the bedroom, with my mind still reeling. Sarah was sitting on the couch, her eyes red and swollen from crying. Tommy was mercifully out of sight, shielded from the turmoil unfolding between his parents. She rushed towards me, reaching for my hand. "John, please forgive me. It was a mistake. I love you and Tommy more than anything. I don't love him." Her words pierced through me. Could I believe her? Could I trust her again? "I need some air," I managed to say, my voice hoarse. Sarah's face fell, but she nodded in understanding, sensing my need for space. Outside, the night air was cool against my face as I paced the yard, trying to make sense of the shattered pieces of my life. The stars overhead offered no answers, only silent witness to my turmoil. Thought back to the days when Sarah had been my everything, faithful, loving, and caring. How had we ended up here? Days turned into weeks as we navigated the aftermath. I insisted on counseling, hoping it would provide clarity or at least some semblance of understanding. Sarah joined me, her guilt and remorse palpable in every session. Tommy, unaware of the storm brewing, continued to ask about his baby sibling with innocent curiosity. One evening, after a particularly grueling therapy session, Sarah found me sitting alone in the backyard, staring at the stars. She joined me quietly, and for a long time we sat in silence, grappling with the wreckage of our marriage. "I don't know if I can move past this," I finally admitted, my voice breaking. Sarah reached for my hand, tears streaming down her face. "I'll do whatever it takes. John, I'm so sorry." As we sat there in the darkness, holding onto each other, I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe love could conquer betrayal. Maybe forgiveness could heal wounds. But one thing was certain. It would be a long road ahead, and the outcome was not certain. One rainy evening, as we sat together in the living room, Sarah turned to me with a soft, pleading gaze. Her eyes reflected a mixture of regret and longing, and I could sense her desire to mend what was broken between us. "John, I want us to work," she confessed in a hushed tone, leaning closer to me. Her hand found mine, fingers intertwining in a silent plea for understanding and forgiveness. "I love you, I love Tommy, and I want our family to heal." Her words stirred something deep in me, a flicker of hope that perhaps we could find our way back to each other. I swallowed hard, feeling the weight of years of love and hurt, tugging at my heartstrings. "We'll take it one day at a time," I murmured, meeting her gaze with a mixture of vulnerability and determination. For Tommy, for us. A gentle smile graced her lips, and in that moment, I saw the woman I had fallen in love with back then, the warmth of her presence, the kindness in her eyes, and the resilience of her spirit. Despite the pain and betrayal, a part of me still yearned for her touch, for the connection we had once shared. As if sensing my thoughts, Sarah leaned closer, her breath mingling with mine in the quiet intimacy of the room. Her lips brushed against my cheek, feather light and tentative, seeking reassurance and permission. I closed my eyes, savoring the sensation of her closeness, the warmth of her body pressed against mine. "I'm sorry, John," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of rain tapping against the window pane. "I never meant to hurt you or Tommy." I reached up, brushing a strand of damp hair away from her face, my fingertips lingering against her skin. "I know," I replied softly, my heart heavy with unspoken emotions. "Let's focus on what's ahead." In the days that followed, Sarah and I navigated the fragile terrain of reconciliation with cautious steps and whispered promises. We spent evenings talking late into the night, rediscovering the intricacies of each other's dreams and fears. The tension between us slowly melted away, replaced by a tentative sense of hope and renewed affection. One evening, as we stood together in the kitchen preparing dinner, Sarah turned to me with a mischievous glint in her eyes. "Remember our first date?" she teased, a playful smile tugging at her lips. I chuckled softly, the memory of that nervous, exhilarating evening flooding my mind. "How could I forget?" I replied, reaching for her hand and pulling her close. "You stole my heart that night." She leaned into my embrace, her laughter mingling with mine in the warmth of our shared space. "And I plan to keep it forever," she murmured, her voice low and filled with tender affection. In that moment, surrounded by the comforting aroma of home-cooked meals and the gentle rhythm of our laughter, I felt a spark of something deeper, an ember of passion and love reigniting amidst the ruins of our past. We danced around, lost in the music of our own making, each step a testament to our resilience and the enduring power of forgiveness. As the evening wore on, we found ourselves in the quiet sanctuary of our bedroom, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight. Sarah stood before me, her eyes tracing the lines of my face with a mixture of longing and uncertainty. Without words, she reached for me, pulling me close in a tender embrace that spoke volumes of her desire to bridge the distance between us. "I want to make things right, John," she whispered against my ear, her breath sending shivers down my spine. "Let me show you how much you mean to me." Her touch was electric, igniting a fire within me that had long been dormant. In the quiet intimacy of our shared space, we rediscovered the art of love slow, deliberate, and filled with unspoken promises of redemption and renewal. Our bodies moved in sync, a dance of passion and tenderness that erased the scars of betrayal and replaced them with the warmth of forgiveness and unconditional love. Hours passed in a haze of whispered confessions and stolen kisses, each moment a testament to our shared journey of healing and hope. As we lay entwined in each other's arms, the storm outside subsided, leaving behind a quiet calm that mirrored the peace we had found in each other's embrace. In that moment, I knew that our love was stronger than any obstacle that had threatened to tear us apart. Together, we had weathered the storm, emerging on the other side with a renewed commitment to cherish and protect the fragile bond that had brought us together, though many years ago. As sleep finally claimed us in its tender embrace, I whispered a silent prayer of gratitude for second chances, for the strength to forgive, and for the enduring power of love to heal even the deepest of wounds. In the weeks that followed, Sarah and I navigated the delicate balance of preparing for the arrival of our daughter while grappling with the complexities of our renewed relationship. We painted the nursery in soft, soothing colors, assembled the crib with care, and eagerly awaited the day when our family would welcome its newest member. On a crisp autumn morning, Sarah went into labor, and I stood by her side, holding her hand and offering words of encouragement as she brought our daughter into the world. The moment she placed our baby girl in my arms, Tears streamed down my cheeks, a mixture of overwhelming love and gratitude for the miracle of new life. Sarah smiled through tears of her own, her hand reaching out to gently stroke our daughter's cheek. "I love you, John," she murmured, her voice filled with sincerity and a renewed sense of hope for our future together.